Hey guys, welcome to this behind the scenes video of sorts for Infection. So this is a game that I created with Daniel for the 29th Ludum Game Jam in just about 72 hours. So here is my setup at 2:30 in the morning, and we're just sort of waiting on Tentoaks for the theme announcement, which turned out to be Beneath the Surface. So once we had the theme, we started up an epic 2-hour brainstorm session over Skype, and we discussed a bunch of ideas, from being a sort of psychopathic desk jockey to some large-scale ant simulator game. And I see actually Itiski went with something along those lines, and it turned out pretty cool. Anyway, what we decided on in the end was to be some sort of antibody in a top-down shooter/tower defense setting, obviously inside the human body, fending off all these viruses that are trying to infect your host. So the first thing I started with was the top-down controller, just getting it to move around, rotate, aim where your mouse is, that sort of thing. And then I did some pathfinding stuff for the enemies, and once they were sort of taking various routes around the level, I moved on to the tower defense stuff. So you could spawn in a tower and rotate it around and make sure that it wouldn't be placed inside of another turret or inside of a wall, that sort of thing. And meanwhile, Daniel had started work on the character, based off the tremendously cute little doodle that he did during the brainstorm session. And I continued on with my awesome coder art, just getting some of the basic shooter mechanics in place, and also making it so that they dropped little cells when they died, which the player could use for some sort of currency for the store. And Daniel continued working on the player as well as the various enemies, and once he'd finished animating, he packaged them all up and sent them my way via Dropbox, and I was able to pop them into the project. And already this is looking like something sort of relatively interesting. And you can see the enemies will also now sort of diverge from their set path to actually follow the player if he gets too close or if they get shot at. So next up, Daniel began modifying one of his old procedural level generation scripts to work with the project, and you can see we're easily able to create lots of variations of a level. We had at this point planned to have something in the range of 8 to 10 levels, and that got cut down to 2 due to time constraints. And we barely made 2. The last level came in just about 30 minutes before we submitted the game. And yeah, so here's the first level completed, and it's looking quite pretty. And here you can see it in-game. This is at about 10 AM on the second day, which leaves us with about 41 hours remaining in the jam. So after a bit of coding and some messing around in Unity, I had created a game store. So you just press spacebar and now you can purchase your turrets. You can see Daniel sent me the models for those as well. And along with them, he also sent a pretty awesome little menu scene. So I started messing around with Unity's animation window, getting a cool sort of camera zoom-in effect to go down the character's throat. And here you can see the menu in action. And soon after that he sent me a few more enemy models, so we had quite a diverse bunch in the end. I continued working on the various upgrade levels for the weapons, as well as the remaining 2 turrets that still needed to be done. And also coded a sort of area effect thing where they could walk through the fire and catch on fire themselves and take damage over time, just that sort of thing. So with mere minutes to spare, I received the rather stunning looking second level from Daniel. I just had to rush to get it implemented into the game, get all the essential stuff like the pathfinding working properly. and then I pretty much just had to guess values for the enemy spawn rates and the store costs, because I definitely did not have time to actually play test or balance the game in any way. It's actually quite a miracle that it turned out as well balanced as it did. The final thing we did was just to quickly rush to make a game over screen with a simple scoring system, just to have some sort of conclusion to the game. And then we exported everything and just prayed that we could upload it on time. So that's the story behind Infection. Hope you enjoyed, and make sure to play it if you haven't done so already. So I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.